Good morning, everybody. How we doing? Sam United People's TV. It's Wednesday. Was it 25th? It is the 25th. We're playing Twente tonight. And after the frustration of Crystal Palace, we played well in the first 60, then awful for the last 30. Should have scored 3, at least, maybe. Don't know. Anyway, the Europa League kicks off tonight. I'm going to run through all the team news, the training videos, comments from Ten Hag, and he wants Man United to find that form in front of... Well, we found it against Barnsley. Can we do it midweek in a cup game at Old Trafford again? We'll run through all the team news. We'll run through my starting 11. You can get your predictions in the comments, as you always do. Now, this morning we've had the official announcement of Raphael Varane's retirement after a big injury with Como. He's retired. We'll speak about that. We'll speak about the under-21s last night, getting a winner in Fergie time. We'll speak about the return of Dan Gore. We'll speak about Leny Yoro. We'll speak about Madacia. Lots of conversations. And as always, fire any comments, any questions. I need to turn off the... I've got an Apple Watch. Finally. I need to turn off the sounds. Anyway, you fire any comments, questions. I'll try and interact with you as much as I possibly can. Who's here from the mod and the member gang? Let's have a quick look. Good morning to you, Klein, Josh, and Alex. All of you. Vicky, good morning to you as well. And JVD, you're there. And Manoil, oh, look at that. Nearly a full house. Carl, you're there too. Jeez. Full mod army. Breen, Anurag, we've got Damien. We've got Lone Wolf. How you doing? We've got Chetan and Haley. Hydro 2. And John Morton, Facebook with Pat Martin. We've got Wayne Hogarth. We've got Tim Elston and Mark Evans. Good morning to all of you. Hope you have a good show. Enjoy yourself. It's raining outside. Feels wintry today. What is it? Let's have a look at the temperature. I think it's like 11 degrees. We're getting there, people. I had a naff summer. I couldn't even go outside, really. I love the summer. I don't really get to see much of it. Oh, yeah. We're getting towards winter. It is moist. It is particularly moist out there. So I imagine it's going to be absolutely piercing it down in Manchester for the game tonight. First thing I could say quickly before we get into the show, I went to the Linkin Park gig last night at the O2. And there was a fella, when I was queuing for the train, who's from Cape Town. He just turned around and goes, United People's TV. And that's my bad South African accent. Whatever your name was, big up to you for saying hello. I didn't get your name. I should have got your name. And Linkin Park. Woo, I enjoyed that. Let's get into the show. Raphael Varane. I know you won't be able to read that. But this is Raphael Varane's post on Instagram earlier this morning. And effectively what has happened is this. Raphael Varane, you know what happened. He joined Como, left Manchester United, and it felt like a cool place for him to sort of end his career. I was talking about a Como road trip. Still might do it. That'd be nice. But he, I think, got injured in his first game and has since picked up a massive injury to the point now where Rafa has retired. And this, if you want to go and check out his Instagram, there's a long message there you'll be able to read. Manchester United here saying, thank you for everything you did for us. And that's Rafa Varane replying down there. Special moments we shared. Manchester is a home away from home. And we can speak about the League Cup, but I want to speak about that because the FA Cup, that was the last full game for Raphael Varane as a football player. And the last full game is him lifting the FA Cup at Wembley as a Manchester United player. That's pretty cool. Yeah, someone's written it down there, Danny. It is. Varane's only 31. Obviously, it's a bit different with Varane compared to the average player because he was plagued with injuries. Was he massively plagued with injuries at Real Madrid, or was it only towards the tail end of Real Madrid when they then sold him to Manchester United? And obviously, at United, he was completely plagued by injuries. But he's only 31. I imagine, just prediction, I imagine you're going to see footballers largely, over the next 10 to 20 years, you're probably going to be seeing players retiring earlier compared to years gone by. With the, how many more games there are and the physical demands on being an elite level player. Anurag, you're saying that his injury problems came when they sold him? Yeah, I can't remember that. Still annoyed that Zinedine Zidane stepped in and Varane chose to join Real Madrid instead of United when he left Lens. And I'll be honest, he made the right choice. He definitely made the right choice. But yeah, he's retired. Look, good luck to Varane, man. He's got, like, if you go through when you start doing this, right, let's quickly pull this up full screen. You start going through the pictures of Varane's career, you just remember how much he's actually done. Obviously, his time there at Lens, going to Real Madrid, and what was it, 3 Champions Leagues he won? Was it 4? Was it 3? Can't remember. 4. Anyway, plenty of La Liga titles. Benzema there, that's Zinedine Zidane, of course. Is that the Super Cup? Is that what it is? Yeah, it is a Super Cup. Don't know how I recognise that. I probably read the medal. Anyway, same with Ramos, Champions League again, Marcelo. There's Pogba, and of course, he won the World Cup. Like, Varane, pretty much, it's like football. Yeah, completed it, mate, didn't he? Completed it, mate. That's him with the World Cup. And then this is him coming over to Manchester. That will still go down as one of my favourite sort of player unveils. Because Varane, I don't think, had been officially, if I remember correctly, Varane hadn't officially been announced as a Manchester United player until he walked out of that tunnel. I think the whispers and the journalists, it all came out that he was there, but I think that was the first time that United fans had seen anything to do with Varane at Manchester. I think so, anyway. Might be right, might be wrong. Anyway, that's him with his kids, and that's him lifting the FA Cup, and that photo there to finish his Manchester United career. So yeah, good luck in retirement to Varane. I'm sure he's going to have a great time. Let me see what you're saying about Varane down here. Madrid saw it coming and ripped us for 50 mil. Real Madrid and Bayern Munich are two clubs who, truth be told, rarely regret selling a player. Rarely. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I'm not saying there aren't anomalies. But over the course of time, they're typically very good at getting rid of players at the right time and being able to replace. And they did it perfectly with Casemiro and Tchouaméni coming in and getting 70 mil. Like, perfect example there. But yeah, and I agree with you down there as well. Talking about, I was saying that how don't be surprised to see footballers retiring at a younger age because of the physical demands on the players, but also, as Ant points out, they're breaking through at a younger age. And I've pointed that out too. So, like, when Rooney came through, Rooney was like an anomaly. Because how can you be that like physically mature and good at football at 16? It makes no sense. And then right now, let's be totally honest, form-wise, probably the best player in the world is Lamine Yamal. He's just turned 17. It is ridiculous how good some of these kids are by the time they are 17. Look, Kobe Mainoo's just turned 19, right? Garnacho is... How old's Garnacho now? Is he 20? Anyway, players are breaking through at a younger age, therefore, and you remember that was the reason why Michael Owen was incredible. Did he win the Ballon d'Or? I think he did. But he broke through at like, what, 17, 18? Career went. Rooney, same sort of thing. Toni Kroos was a bad decision. Yeah, as I said, they're not perfect, but rarely do Real Madrid and Bayern Munich let go of players and regret that they left. Anurag, there's a good question down there saying, Sam, did you go to the open training session? No, I've realised that it's something that I realised today. Unfortunately, because of my location, where I am, I can't go to do all of those things. And because I'm so busy doing all of this, this is, I would say, is a type of content that we do on United People's TV. The live shows and the engagement and the community we've built off the back of it is my favourite part of it. And I love it. I wouldn't want that to change. And then we've got the deep dives now and the mini documentaries. And that's a different style of content. But also, I'd love for United People's TV to have more content with presence at the match day. So I'm going to need to, and I haven't done it yet, and it's going to be, this is probably a nice part of the next level of growth is what I'd love to do. I was thinking about it this morning. I was talking about it with Ronnie. So I'd let you in. I'd love to be able to offer a paid internship to somebody who's graduating from, I don't know, Manchester Met, or who's studying journalism and wants to break through into it. Because when I left uni and I was doing the People's Person blog, I went and did my journalism diploma, passed shorthand, did law, all that jazz. And there was no way into the industry. And I had to start my own stuff. And that's how the People's Person existed and how United People's TV exists now. But I think with the position now, with the community we've got and the presence we've got, I think you could give that opportunity to somebody who's just graduating now. And it could be perfect. And they could be like a new face that's on United People's TV that gets to go to the training sessions, that gets to go to the games, and far more than I can. I'd love to be able to offer that opportunity to someone. I spoke about it with Ronnie this morning. I think it's going to be a good thing. Anyway, we'll see. That's next. But under 21s last night in action, and the Fergie time winner got involved. 90+6. That's when Louis Jackson equalised from a corner, and then Manchester United went and they won on penalties, 5-3. And something really good that happened yesterday, which I'm very happy for Dan Gore, right? Dan Gore was back in action, and he captained the under-21s last night. Who else was breaking through last season? We were talking about who's going to be next after Garnacho and Mainu. I don't know whether Dan Gore has the quality. I don't think he does, to have the quality to match the sort of level of breakthrough that we've seen from Mainu and Garnacho. However, I really do like Dan Gore. Last season, I can't remember where he went. Was it Port Vale he went on loan? I think he dislocated his shoulder, something like that. He had a bad injury, so it was a poor loan spell. But he's back with the under-21s, and they won last night. So congratulations to him, and congratulations to them. And today's lunchtime video, by the way, is going to be about these two, right? It's going to be about James Overy and Samuel Lascelles. 16 and 17 finally confirmed as United signings last night. So my lunchtime video is just going to be a quick explainer on who Overy is. He's a right back that we signed. I think it was from Perth, when he's Australian anyway. And Lascelles was a 16-year-old we signed from Crystal Palace this summer. But both of those are now confirmed. We're soon going to be hearing a confirmation of Ciro Obi-Martin. And the under-18s have had a fantastic start to the season. And there's a couple of other players I want to speak about. So, the lunchtime video is going to be a little one on the academy. See quite a few of you down there in the comments mentioning Jack Fletcher, who's had a stormer of a start to the season and really progressed last season, went on the pre-season tour. High hopes. So I'll speak about a few of them, because I actually looked back at my video that I did a couple of months ago. I said, which players are most likely to break through? And I mentioned, some of them were obviously known, right? I spoke about Harry Mass, I'll speak about soon, Ethan Wheatley, Ethan Ennis, Finley McAllister, and Toby Collier. And of course, Toby Collier is the one that has since broken through. But I'm going to do that lunchtime video today, because I know lots of you enjoy the updates on the academy, and it feels like it's a good time to have one, right? Anyway, moving on from academy players, here is Leny Yoro working hard in Carrington, right? Okay, he did an interview yesterday with, was it Rio? I think it was Rio, on TNT Sports. I'm guessing that will be coming out tonight, right? And I'm in Carrington every single day. It's good to see him putting weight through his foot. Of course, the reason that Leny Yoro currently hasn't made his Manchester United full debut is because he did was it a fracture? I think it was a fractured metatarsal. Anyway, it's good to see that. And probably, I would say, I'll ask you a question in the comments actually here. If you had to, I'm not saying that the season's been perfect so far, because it's not, right? Where are we? 11th in the table? As if I'm going to say that. But what would you say has been the biggest positive that you've seen so far from United that we didn't see last season? Because I'd probably point towards the fact that we've kept 3 clean sheets in a row. Now, of course, one of those was against Barnsley. One of those was against Southampton, who are likely going to go down. So, right, fair enough. But we've kind of done all of that. And we've still got Leny Yoro coming in. That's what you call depth. Strength in depth. I'm going to go down here and see what you're saying in the comments. Rich, you're saying tighter defence. Abraham, you're saying we're playing better football, creating more chances and a clean sheet, says Ray. How you doing, Ray? Style of play and rotation. I think rotation's a really good point down there. And yeah, that one there too. Man, last season, every single game, you just had to, you're like, shot conceded, 24 shots against us. Actually, don't know how many shots we are conceding right now. But it certainly feels like a lot less. Glenn, I agree with that. A style emerging. That build-up. I'm going to be interested to find out. So we'll speak about the game now, right? Speak about it tonight. But I'm interested to find out whether United will use that same system in the build-up. I'm sure we have used that system early this season, but it felt so much more apparent against Crystal Palace than it did any team that we've played this season. The three, and then Kobbie Mainoo or Eriksen in midfield with Diogo Dalot, who inverted, and then Eriksen and Bruno kind of splitting slightly wide as two wider central midfielders, always finding space on the ball then. And then, of course, you had Garnacho, you had Xerxes, and you had Garnacho. That wasn't really the 4-2-2 system. No, not the 4-2-4 system that we've been using. I think we are tweaking a bit. And you're saying the average is 7 shots conceded per game. Alex, you're saying that we conceded 9 shots versus Palace. It's good. And Ray's a really good point down there, which I've said a few times. Manchester United actually being a threat from corners. Every game, not scoring from every game, but we got 2 goals from set pieces against Southampton. De Ligt flew through the air against Crystal Palace and probably should have scored, but having a consistent threat from a corner. Just look at Arsenal, man. It's a big reason why Arsenal have been able to close the gap to City. Not enough, because City are still on top. Probably changes after Rodri's out, but being a threat from a corner, it should be a default for a Premier League level team, in my opinion. How can you possibly not be good at corners? I mean, how hard can it be to be good at corners? Seriously. We spoke about the percentages here. Like, how much do you think it's a good corner or being a threat from a set piece? Depends on the quality of the ball in. And I think I agree with you. It's like 80%. If you whip in a wicked delivery, odds on you're going to be a threat from it. Anyway, let's speak about Twente. All right, we've got a new player coming in tonight. Looking forward to seeing him. His name's Erik. All right. So, I'm not sure where he's going to play there tonight. He's probably going to be at centre-back. So I think that's where he played in his career. He's got a nice touch. Seems confident. He's been training well. All jokes aside. Nice little bit of trickery. Jeez. Anytime I ever tried that before, I was spectacularly poor at football. I really was. Anyway, that was quite funny. But let's speak about what Erik ten Hag said ahead of the game. Because this is the biggest problem we've got. I spoke about this earlier this week. I think it was on the Monday. No, was it a Monday show? Yeah, it was a Monday show after Crystal Palace. And I said it's really obvious what Man United's biggest problem currently is. It's not to say that everything else is perfect, all right? There's still so many elements that we need to improve in our team. However, if we were converting more of our big chances, nobody's missed more big chances than Manchester United in the league. 17. 5 more than anyone else. In 4 games? Ten Hag wants United to become killers in the box. And we were killers in the box against Barnsley. Of course, the caveat, it's Barnsley. So tonight, let's see if we can do it again. You know, something I really enjoyed about the Barnsley game, and something I will always enjoy when I watch Manchester United and we do this, right? If Erik ten Hag wanted to, the players would have been given instructions to maybe it's 2 or 3-0 against Barnsley. Just chill, man. Just go back, relax. Don't get any injuries. It's fine. But instead, we just kept going. 3-0, 4-0, 5-0, 6-0. And that sort of morale-boosting win was just great because I've seen United be in positions like that before and then kind of hold back. But sometimes when you put teams to the sword, it has an impact. I think so anyway. Of course, we then ended up drawing against Crystal Palace, but it wasn't for the lack of chances. And that's something I think I've got a confidence in watching United right now. I've got a confidence in watching United against Twente tonight that we are going to create high-quality chances and multiple high-quality chances. I don't have confidence that the ball's going to go in the back of the net, but I have confidence that we are going to create real goal-scoring opportunities. And last season, I don't think you could have said that with as much confidence. Of course, that's what they say is the hardest thing in football is putting it in the back of the net. And I think we're seeing that from United tonight. Let me see if there's any super chats down here, and then we'll move on to the next talking point. Should be a good one. United is missing a physical, dominant forward, says Duke. I mean, I disagree on that one because Xerxes 6'4". Højlund's a unit as well, but Xerxes not a traditional centre forward, and Højlund hasn't started a game for us this season. So it shouldn't really come as too much of a... Well, it can, but Garnacho should be finishing better. Xerxes should be finishing better. Bruno should be finishing better. See, we should be scoring more goals. Duke, you're saying we have finally got a consistent back five, and there are positives to take. There definitely are, but we need the results. It'd be nice to get another little 7-0 win, wouldn't it? Ahead of Spurs. And it's going to be the Premier League games where the progress is really measured, I suppose. And that's why people were frustrated after Palace. Jordan, you're asking for my score prediction tonight. I'll give that a little bit when we run through the starting 11. I don't think it'll be 3-2, though. Theodore saying, just joining in, can't get over how benching Rashford at Palace cost us 3 points, says Theodore. I mean, I don't really know how you've come to that conclusion. I'm pretty sure that Garnacho hitting the bar, that Garnacho missing a one-on-one with Henderson, that Bruno Fernandes using the outside of his boot, the De Ligt missing the corner. Well, that's 4 golden opportunities as a reason why we didn't get 3 points. Mazraoui, of course, sat there yesterday. It's kind of a weird one. Normally when you get the press conference, you get a player sitting alongside it. I'm pretty sure there were 2 press conferences here. I think it's because Erik ten Hag moved the press conference forward like 4 hours so that Dutch journalists could get to answer the questions. I can't remember the reason why. But anyway, I'll be honest, I kind of want Mazraoui to be on the bench tonight. However, it is the Europa League, it is the opening fixture, and maybe it's more important than I'm giving it credit for. I don't know. I want to see rotation there tonight, though. But look, let's run through the team news, okay? This was the team for the under-21s last night, and a couple of names are there. Harry Mass and Ethan Wheatley. Jack Fletcher, of course, as well. Uganai, Habib Uganai, the right back. Ethan Ellis, who scored. Sam Mather. Anyway, it's a good team. But Amas was in the team, started, and Ethan Wheatley was in the team. So neither of those 2 players are going to be playing for United tonight. Right? He was on a subs bench. Look, Bianchetti's down there. I'll speak about him, by the way, in my lunchtime video, for sure. Finney McAllister, Curley, missing. But yeah, no Toby Collier. So Toby Collier is going to be in the squad tonight. And more progress and an update on Malacia, right? Malacia is there. He's in full training now. He's getting involved in the rondos. I believe he got involved in the team training, and then after that, he went to do individual training. Personal prediction here, or if I was a betting man, which I am, but if I was to bet on one of Shaw or Malacia to be a Manchester United player next season, I would personally bet on Malacia. I would predict and imagine that Manchester United... Now, I don't know how we're going to shift, because I was speaking about this with a couple of mates the other day. I don't really know how United are going to shift on Luke Shaw, because he's contracted until 2027. If United are going to sell Luke Shaw, it'll be at a cut price. Anyway, I think United will buy a first-choice left-back in the summer, and Malacia will be there as the understudy. And clearly, he's been grafting. And of course, you won't know until he's fully fit, until he's back into a first-team environment and dealing with that. Right? Malacia possibly on the bench for Spurs. I personally would predict that Malacia will be back is it for the Brentford game? I think the Brentford game is the first game back after this upcoming international break. I would predict that's when we see Malacia back. And I really want him back because once we've got Malacia back, if he's fit, right? Big question mark. It might not be. But then you can definitely rest Mazraoui in Europa League games because then you have Dalot is like an athlete. Dalot can cope with it. Maybe there'll be certain games where you take him in and out. But I don't think there's anybody right back wise that Erik Ten Hag trusts apart from Diogo Dalot. I've necessity, of course, he's got Mazraoui, but I don't know. I'm looking forward to seeing him back. Right? Looking forward to seeing him back. I wouldn't be shocked if Shaw retires at the end of the season, says Steve, and he couldn't play for England. What's he going to do that for? That's not going to happen. Now, another little video here, another little Rondo video. And this was pointed out by Harrison, who, of course, is on the overlap. And I always enjoy his tactical view on games. I think the fact that he's pointing here about the fact that Manchester United, in this Rondo drill, of course, the Rondo is the passing drill. A lot of the time it's one touch. This one, it's two touch. But Manchester United have got a player in the middle that they're trying to now pass through in this particular drill. So instead of just going on the outside, it's passing it into the middle of the press and then trying to play out from it. And that's a little bit of an elevation on what the training drills. Remember when the first training drills came out? How bad they were. I remember those first that preseason, the videos we were doing, showing the training, comparing it to the speed of Ajax and going, well, okay, I know what he's trying to do, but geez, they are some way off it. But United are certainly looking a bit more comfortable this season. We're still not the end product. But I thought that was nicely pointed out by Harrison, the fact that United were actually playing into the press of the middle and then trying to play out from it, rather than just trying to play around it. That's showing a bit more confidence, right? A bit more confidence. And me saying, so happy to see Højlund back. Well, let's run through some team news here. Oh, jeez. I mean, you could see all four of those start tonight. I'm going to run through my starting 11, right? Going to run through my starting 11, and I think Erik Ten Hag is going to start a strong team tonight, right? I really want to see Ugarte in. I want to see Ugarte complete 90 minutes. So what's happened with Ugarte so far? He got 15 minutes from the bench against Southampton, started against Barnsley, got 600? Got 60 minutes, thereabouts, and then came off the bench against Palace again for 15, 20 minutes. So we're still yet to see Ugarte complete a full 90. Maybe tonight's that night, or maybe not. Maybe 70, 75 minutes. Don't know. But I do think we need Ugarte fit and in the starting 11 for Spurs. A very, very, very active counter-pressing team. You're going to need someone who's as press-resistant as possible. And again, going back to what I was saying about that Rondo drill, this here partly is about building up press resistance for these players, for Dalot's in the middle, or for the two players who are in the middle, being able to, under pressure of two players swarming down on you, to quickly find a pass off to a teammate with one touch. That's part of the logic there of that Rondo as well. So all these things, I mean, it's just all training. It's all supposed to make you better. That's the concept. Now, I thought this was interesting. I pulled this up before I run through my team news. This is done by Opta. They've got their tournament. They've got some sort of, I don't know, super Uber computer that sat there and done all the predictions on who the most likely team is to win the Europa League. And you can see down there, they've got Porto in as number one. A 17.8% chance, apparently, of Porto winning. They've actually put Slavia Prague right there with a bigger chance of United winning. United are there in 6th place behind Roma, Spurs, Slavia Prague, Athletic Bilbao, I think that is, and Porto. Don't know. We play Porto next week, though. So that'll be a real test. I think that is... Porto away is pretty much the hardest game that we will have up until we get into a big knockout tie. I'm looking forward to the Europa League. There's only so much you can look forward to the Europa League. But it did mean something when Mourinho won it and we got back into the Champions League. And if we win the League Cup, the FA Cup, and then the Europa League in 1, 2, 3 years in a row, put us in good stead. Now, let me run through my starting 11 that I predict. Was this the starting 11 I predicted? Or I think I went for the starting 11 rather than what I predicted, kind of what I wanted to see, which is probably not going to happen. So let me know in the comments, peeps. What do you think is going to be different in this game? Obviously, Jack Fletcher won't be on the bench. Just seen that. But I went for a back five, the same back five that we had against Barnsley. Well, actually, no, that's a lie, because Binder played there. I'm left Donana in there. But the whole back four the same. Collier at left back, Evans and Maguire and Delo, obviously giving Mazraoui the rest. But then Mazraoui joined in the pre-match press conference. And it's likely that he's going to start. But I'd rather he didn't. And I'd rather De Ligt and Martinez rested. I think United, if we should have enough to beat Twente with that team. I went for a midfield two of Casemiro and Ugarte. I don't really know what to say about Casemiro anymore that I haven't already. I would just like it if Casemiro just found some form. I would like it if Casemiro just sort of, I don't know, dialed in. Let's find out. I went for a front four of Bruno in the middle. Yeah, Bruno did not look good against Palace. I wouldn't be offended if Erik ten Hag rotate. It wouldn't be Bruno being dropped. It would be Bruno being rotated. And they are two different things, all right? So if Casemiro was awful, so he got dropped. You might say that Bruno's been awful and he's going to get dropped, but this is going to be Erik ten Hag trying to utilise what he's got. And if it is Bruno, if it's not Bruno there, you could see Mason Mount, who's fit and available here. Go down and see what you're saying in the comments. And you're saying you don't see too many changes. Look, this was the starting 11 that I kind of wanted to see. I'm going to show you what I think it will be now, right? Because I agree. I don't think there's going to be many changes. I think we're pretty much going to see a full strength team tonight. Maybe they're... No, I think he's just going to do that. I think he's just going to go for his full defence. Delo at right back. No, Delo at left back. Mazraoui over there. I feel pretty confident about that, though. Casemiro and Ugarte, I think they'll play. Bruno, I think, will play. Yeah, it's just the defence, really, I'm making changes. Rain Gain, you're down there saying this. Rain Gain. At some point this season, I would like to see this. I really would. I don't know whether I'd drop Xerxes as deep as that in like an attacking midfield role. It would probably, if we're going to play Xerxes and Højlund together, it would be in that 2 false 9 sort of role. So let's move them up the pitch a little bit because you're in my way. That's probably what it would be like. Kind of a flat front four. I think Eriksen gets a rest. I don't think Eriksen starts this game. I also don't think that Eriksen should start against Spurs. The game's going to be too fast twitch for Eriksen. That surely seems like a game that Eriksen would be better coming off the bench in. That's why I think so. Someone saying Rashford number 9 could happen. But yeah, I don't actually think we'll see Xerxes and Højlund start together. I really want to see them start together. I'm curious to find out whether or not Højlund will actually start this game. I think he would. I think he will. Yeah, wouldn't it be? It would be cool, I think, to see Xerxes and Højlund together. I'm really excited to at some point this season see that, but probably not in the first game of the Europa League. So I think Erik ten Hag will. If you've got 8 games, you might be able to, towards the end of the Europa League, take your foot off the gas and rest a couple of players. Remember that the last 2 games of the Europa League group stage now, what is it, like 23rd and 30th of January? Something like that. 2 games at the end of Jan. Let's find out. Let me see what you're saying down here in the comments. We're going to go full strength, says Marcel, so we have a good start. I hesitate to think you're probably correct. That's why I probably would like to see the rotation in the back four, but maybe I'm just not looking at this game in the way that I should be looking at it. And we should go full strength to really get the win, to set off the Europa League onto a good start. Simi Skimmed, you're saying you don't know whether Rasmus starts. I think he will. But I don't know how fit he was. I mean, he was fit enough for the bench against Crystal Palace. Maybe he's not. Maybe he's not going to be fit to start. Let's find out. Everyone fire in your comments. Comments? Predictions. In the comments. Same thing. Dudley saying that's exactly why Eriksen should be starting against Spurs. Spurs are going to counter-press so hard onto our midfielders that the sort of space that we had against Crystal Palace I don't think will be afforded. However, and this is always the caveat with Eriksen, on the ball, in deeper positions, is there anybody better than him in looking for those balls over the top? And Spurs are going to play with a high line. Bruno, people are going to get angry with Bruno, but he's going to have to find those passes quick, look up and get the ball over the top for Rashford and Garnacho and Højlund or Xerxes against Spurs, because that's going to be one of our biggest threats. Let me see what you're saying in the comments. 5-2 says, on field, you're feeling chirpy. Ben, you're going for a 3-0. Ashwin, a 3-0. Danny, a 3-1. Triple beat. You're going for a 4-1. 4-1 says Teklon. I think my prediction was a 3-0. Back in United to win. Back in United to keep that clean sheet and make it 4 on the spin. And that will be a decent achievement. Of course, there's going to be people going, oh, it's only Twente, it's only Barnsley, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, this is a Manchester United team which also conceded 20 to 30 shots against every team we played last season. Probably against Coventry as well in the FA Cup semi. So, yeah, I think I will celebrate the fact that we actually are looking a bit tighter defensively. That's probably what I go for in a team, but yeah, you might be right. It may well be that Højlund's not fit enough to start. Xerxes keeps his spot. And Xerxes, I'll be honest, I did a video about it after the Palace game, doing exactly what I thought and I hoped he would do with the ball at his feet and helping us out of possession. He's now just got to find those goals more consistently. If he's going to get 2 or 3 big chances a game, he's going to have to bury one of them. And that will be, I think, something that he has to develop this season, just like everyone else. Hence why Erik Ten Hag came out with that comment ahead of the game. That's what we need to see there tonight. If we're looking for one improvement from the Palace game, find the back of the net, lads. Once you score 1 goal, it's like, relief. A little bit of relief anyway, not too much. But just, we look tighter defensively. There's some semblance of a start and a structure and a build-up pattern. I enjoyed that. Creating chances through patterns, I enjoyed that as well. Find the back of the net. It's different problems to what we had last season. Problems nonetheless. But I think things are developing. Just need to find the net. That's what we need. Rashford with a brace tonight, says Brian. Let's hope so. 3-0 clean sheet habits are forming. That'd be nice. If we can get 2 more clean sheets. Actually, we can just get 4 clean sheets in a row against Twente, Spurs, Porto, and Villa. That'd be nice. And win them all as well. I'm not fussy. I'm not greedy. I'm not too greedy. I'm pretty greedy. But yeah, I was probably going to wrap it up for today. That's one of the shortest shows I've done in a long old time. But I've got a big lunchtime video to work on. All right. And I was also up to about 1:30 because it took me ages to get back from the Linkin Park gig. Raphael Varane has retired. Make sure you go and leave a comment on his Instagram or something. Last minute or 2 of the show, fire in your questions. Of course, I will be here for the 20 game tonight. All right. Match reaction will always be up within around about 15 minutes of full time. Also, my lunchtime video today is going to be a little bit of a special video on the academy. I'm going to speak about the 2 signings that we've completed yesterday that are going to go into under-18s. Going to speak about Obi Martin. Going to speak about the under-18 season so far. Gabriel Bianchetti, who is in red-hot goal-scoring form. We'll speak about Jack Fletcher. I think you'll enjoy it. Definitely be worth 10 minutes of your time. Early United goal says definitely to open the floodgates. That's what I'd like to see. That's what I'd like to see. Twente, 20, same thing. I did see McTominay's performance against Juve. Antonio Conte is using him in a very specific position, and it gets the most out of McTominay. He actually looked like he carried the ball a bit better there as well. Maybe there's just more time on the ball in Serie A. I imagine there is. Varane did retire already. Yes, Ben. Linkin Park did have a new singer. Emily Armstrong, obviously replacing Chester. You can't really replace. But I like the fact that they went female, because I think if anybody was brought in to replace Jesse, it would have just been comparing him to the whatever the male replacement was. Then that was a smart move. And also, she's very good. They nailed it. It was a 2-hour gig. I had a great time. Honestly, listen to him, Josh. She's fantastic. She really, really is. The draw for the League Cup gets made tonight, I think. So we find out who we play in the 4th round. I don't know. It's probably going to be Liverpool or something like that. But thank you all for tuning in. Please do drop a like on the video. It makes a big, big difference. I'll be here with lunchtime video on the Academy and after the game tonight when we win 6-0. I don't know.